A chance encounter between a disgraced music business executive and a young singer-songwriter new to Manhattan turns into a promising collaboration between the two talents. This is my review of Begin Again. Again, this is one of those movies that did not come out in my area, so again, I had to wait for it to come out on DVD and Blu-ray so I could rent it. And again, I rented it and watched it with my dad at home. And I have to tell you guys that after seeing the movie 3 months ago with my dad, I can say the movie was great. The good points. The writing is probably the best thing coming out of this movie. And not just the writing with the script, but the writing with the songs as well. Because there are 5 to 10 original songs in this movie, and I found all of them to be really catchy. Not just with their lyrics, but with the music as well. And the song I liked the most in this movie was a song called Lost Stars. And that song is nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song of the Year, and I believe it deserves to have that nomination. Anyways, I liked the writing with the script because I liked the characters that Mark Ruffalo and Keira Knightley played, and I thought the story was written well. The part of the movie that I found the most interesting with the writing was with the beginning. Because the story structure at the beginning was a little bit weird, but it was weird in a good way. Because you have Keira Knightley's character, who is the singer-songwriter, doing this small performance at this bar. And then after she sings the song, we see that Mark Ruffalo was listening to her. And Mark Ruffalo plays the disgraced music executive. Then after that point, we have a flashback as to how Mark Ruffalo's character got to the bar. And then the two of them have a conversation with one another about them making an album together. And after the two part ways, we get a flashback of Keira Knightley's character and the events that led up to her live performance at the bar. So I thought it was cool in a weird way how the beginning of the movie was structured, and the rest of the movie was structured well. I thought the acting by Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo were done well. The sound design was done well, and the sound was mixed well too, because there are a lot of outside scenes with music being played. And when I was listening to the movie during those scenes, I thought those scenes had the best mixing in the movie. I thought the directing in the movie was done well, and the same thing goes for the editing of the movie since it moved the movie along, and it had the right pace to it. And I liked how some of the scenes were shot in this movie, and most of those scenes revolve around the music being played outside. Because when I was watching these scenes, it seemed like I was watching a music video, which is a good thing. Because if those scenes were shot regularly, then I think it would have felt weird. And what I mean by they were shot like a music video, I don't mean like there were like graphics all over the place or anything. There were 3 of these scenes, I believe. And some of these scenes had these one-shot takes edited with these short takes. And this goes back to the editing, because once they were edited together, it seemed perfect. The bad points. So the following bad points aren't really terrible, but I thought they could have been worked on. And one of those things was the acting by Adam Levine. I thought that Adam Levine actually did an alright job with his role, but to me, I thought there was something off about his character, and I can't put my finger on what that was, but I just felt like there was something off about him. One thing about the writing that I didn't like was that something happened at the end with Mark Ruffalo's character and his character's wife. And once you hear the backstory between the two, and once you see what happens to them at the end, it's sort of like, that doesn't seem realistic after hearing their backstory. Even though I said the editing was pretty good throughout the movie, I thought that there were several moments with editing that were bad. And those several moments were bad because of these, 1-second snippets out of the movie. Because I would notice at times that the actors would have their scenes, and at, one time they'll be, for instance, right here, and then, a second later, they'll, jump over here, and it's like, whoa, what happened there? And I don't think that was a problem with the disc I had, but I think that was a problem with the editing in the movie. The only other problem I had with the movie was that once the movie ended, I was like, yeah, that was a good ending. But then, for some reason, it started to continue in the credits. I was like, oh, okay, what's this? And then the story continues, and then after it ends the way it does in the credits, it's like, okay, I guess that's a good ending too. I just didn't understand why they had to have that scene in the credits when they could have had it at the end. Or they could have just cut that scene completely out of the credits and have the original ending. Like I said, I saw this movie with my dad 3 months ago, and my dad gives this movie a 3.25 out of 4 stars, while I will give it a 3.5 out of 4 stars. If you're into movies about music and drama movies, then you'll like this movie for sure. And if you're a fan of Keira Knightley or Mark Ruffalo, then you'll probably like this movie as well. Okay, so that was my review for Begin Again. Hope you guys liked it, and other than that, guys, that's it.